Okay. I think the most important aspect going on during 2026, or you could say the most important transit, is that Saturn will be exactly conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees Aries on February 20th. These planets have not been together at 0 degrees Aries for 9,000 years. And 0 degrees is like a fresh start. It is a brand new chapter. It is a world overhaul.
Heidi Rose Robbins is back in the house.
Yay, I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my goodness. You are the most returned guest, which I love, of course. You retain that status.
Ooh, I love that.
I know, I do too.
Driving over here feeling very happy. Is this year 5 or 4?
No, I actually think we're on 6 or 6 or 7, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It's been quite a while.
That makes me very happy.
So for those of you who are new, and I'm so glad you're here, and those of you who are returning, of course, I'm glad you're here as well. Heidi is the in-house astrologer who has always been helping with the astrology of the year ahead, so we can understand the astro flow, really know what to look for. And I'm just going to share the way that I've been using astrology, because and this year I've gone even deeper into my use of astrology, which has been very interesting. However, the way that I'd always framed it is it's like the weather report in a way. So I think of it as the cosmic weather report. And if we've got, like in Los Angeles, where we are right now, right, we've had these crazy rains.
Yes.
I want to know, because I'm not going to wear my new beautiful lavender suede boots that I bought in Amsterdam, like to the Christmas party. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen unless, I mean, it's not going to happen because I don't want to get them all messed up in the weather. So I will use them for a time when there's going to be sunshine and it'll be lovely out. And just like the planets are moving, I've found so helpful over all these years to know what's moving where, so that I can optimize what I'm doing in my life. Not to stop doing anything, not to be like, oh my God, I can't do this. It's like, well, let me just know what the tools are. Do I need an umbrella? Do I need a raincoat? Like, maybe I just need some extra sunblock right now. So that's the way that, I've held it over all these years. And now this year I've gotten into the more, I want to say, like, minutia of it, but really looking at moving with the flow of the planets according to my chart. So that's where I've been, like, getting nerdy about it. I haven't shared that with you.
No, I love that. It makes sense with Jupiter in Cancer on your rising sign. It's the next stage. No, but it is. It's the next stage of growth, like, with a study that you take seriously.
Yeah, because that's been moved. Jupiter's mainly, I'm 25 degrees Cancer rising. So it's been 12th housey. So it's this massive deepening in terms of spirituality and cosmic connection, if you will. And all of that has, definitely expanded this year for me.
I forgot that my Jupiter is exactly on your ascendant.
It is?
I have 24 degree Cancer.
Oh my
Jupiter.
gosh.
So I'm having
So you're
Jupiter
like a giant gift in my life.
I am.
Which you have been.
No. But
it's true.
But we're, Jupiter's on, I'm having a Jupiter return, which only happens every 12 years. And you're having Jupiter on your ascendant, which only happens every 12 years. And like you just wrote in a beautiful email talking about your mentorships that you're having coming up with Jupiter and Cancer.
Yeah.
You wrote all about Jupiter and Cancer, and it is this time of flow, and it is this time of expanding our intuitive awareness. And so it doesn't surprise me that you've taken this study to another level.
Yeah, it's been beautiful. So in any case, we are here to talk about the astrology of 2026, which is no fucking joke.
No.
Okay. It is like, and I've been talking to people and they're like, what do you mean it's no joke? Like 25 has been really intense. So floor is yours. Let's talk. What are we looking at?
I am actually, as I was preparing for this, and I love coming here because it makes me really think about the year ahead. I'm like, wait, it's time. You really better start thinking about this. But it's actually strangely and deeply hopeful to me because last year, and even, I mean, this whole 2025, we have been dealing with so many retrogrades, and we were dealing last year with all the major outer planets moving into new signs, but then they retrograded. So nothing took hold fully. You know, we got tastes of it. We got like, well, what do you think about this? And then these planets retrograded. But this year, they are solidly in the new signs.
Right.
So it is a whole rebirth going on. We couldn't talk about rebirth for 2025. We could only talk about like seismic change and more destabilizing than anything. I don't feel that this year is destabilizing. I feel like there's some major new beginnings, but because of Saturn's placement, they can take hold. And because they're also solidly in these new signs. So let's just dive right in. Okay. I think the most important aspect going on during 2026, or you could say the most important transit, is that Saturn will be exactly conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees Aries on February 20th. These planets have not been together at 0 degrees Aries for 9,000 years. So this was like the rise of like agriculture. This was when we start, you know, like, so I just want to,
it's been a minute.
I just want to give that now, obviously, but they have been together in Aries. Before, since then, but not at 0 degrees Aries. And 0 degrees is like a fresh start. It is a brand new chapter. It is a world overhaul. And so, honestly, that little conjunction is the most important thing in my mind that happens next year, because it is the planet of structure sitting next to the planet of the new dream, right? You could talk about it a lot of different ways, but we're dreaming a new dream, and we're bringing clear, purposeful planning and structure to it. Or you could say, finally, the old ways have dissolved. And just like the Fool in the tarot, where it's launching off with a kind of wisdom into a whole new chapter of our collective lives.
Just a little thing. Just a little thing. Now, quick question. So what would you recommend that people do to signify this moment?
So the first thing you want to find out is where this is occurring in your chart. And so if you like astrology at all and you just go online, I mean, there's so many astrologers now that will show that where it's happening in your chart. And because you want to know about that area, where is the dissolving occurring and where is the new structure being created? You could also zoom it out and just say to yourself, I have some new dreams in my life. What is my plan to make those a reality? Or what have been my fears been in my life, or my hesitations, and am I finally ready to let them dissolve? Now, let me just say one more thing, which is that there is an eclipse right before this conjunction. Just days before. And this eclipse is being squared by Uranus. So something is busting open, some revolution, inner or outer revolution is occurring that makes the way for this. So, you know, you can think just big picture and say the dreamer and the realist are sitting next to each other, or you can apply it to your life. For me, it's going to be happening sort of like right at the cusp of the 9th house. So honestly, you know, I love poetry. I love spirituality. That's all Neptune. And Saturn says, what's the new structure for that? And it's all happening in my 9th house of teaching. So my teaching is changing. Same.
Same.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's right. Because we're our rising signs are not the same, but they're close. Because I'm Leo and you're Cancer. But so both of us are going to undergo pretty significant changes when it comes to travel, when it comes to how we teach in the world, maybe even who our teachers are. But there's going to be a moment even before February 20th when Neptune enters Aries. That's February 13th when Neptune enters Aries. And I want us all to think about, what's the first tiny step of your new dream? Because the dream is Neptune, Aries is the fresh start.
Yes.
And I definitely want to do something around poetry on that day that then, unfolds something new, right?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Saturn comes along and says, I've got your back.
Yes.
I've got your back.
Yes, I've got the structure for you. And might I add, which we won't go down this road completely, there are other ways that I'll be talking
Yeah.
about this. That eclipse,
Yeah.
which is the new moon in Aquarius,
Yes.
is Lunar New Year.
Yes.
So February 17th is also, right, it's no joke in terms of, it's got this T square.
Yes. Yes. It's square. Yes.
Squaring Uranus. And so we're ushering in the year of the fire horse.
Oh my gosh.
After which this is the big shift. I think also energetically, everybody I know, and this past year of the snake, we've been shedding.
Yes.
It's also been a 9-year numerologically. So there's been these endings, these sheddings, it's difficult sometimes when we shed. It's a detox, if you will. And now, not only we're moving into the year of the horse, it's a fire year, and we've moved from a wood year. So the animal and the element are shifting. And when I saw it was happening on the day that we are having an eclipse, I was just like, okay, everybody, that's a day, to me, I believe that's a day to also really pay attention to.
Huge. That whole week, we have to just be so intentional and available. I mean, I don't know a lot about Chinese astrology, but when I think fire horse, all I can feel is momentum.
Yes.
And galloping towards something new. And that is, I wouldn't say that when the Saturn Neptune is a galloping, but it is so intentionally fresh and new and purposeful. I don't know. I'm very excited about this. There is no way the old world can exist as it is with this happening, and that's just one of the things that's happening.
Yes, keep going. So, it's and that's early on.
That's early on, and that's early on. So then we also know that in 2025, the planet Uranus, or Uranus, as some people say, Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini, and it just moved in from July to November. So it just dipped in 2025, and then it retrograded into Taurus. Now, Uranus spends 7 to 8 years in a sign. So it moved into Taurus in 2018. Now it moves into Gemini. The clearest thing that we saw with Uranus moving into Gemini was suddenly AI was everywhere. Now, many people will say AI was everywhere much before that, but something happened with the collective consciousness where it was like,
Are you using chat?
Yeah.
Which one are you using, Claude? What are you using?
And suddenly it was there. That was the most obvious thing about Uranus entering Gemini.
Okay.
Now, it's going to re-enter Gemini April 25th. And think about it. Uranus is stimulating. Uranus is new. Uranus shakes things up. Uranus is quick, and Gemini is too. And there's some instability with Gemini, but it's all about how we share information, how we communicate. So if you want to talk about things speeding up to a crazy, degree, we have this Uranus Gemini. But what's even more interesting is that it's going to be in harmony with Pluto and Neptune. This is, basically we've been having what's called a minor grand trine all this year, all next year. It continues for a number of years. And these planets working together, the revolutionary, the dreamer, and the regenerator are just collectively changing everything about the way we live, and they're in harmony. They're in harmony. So, but think about the 60s. Think about 65 and 66. That's when Uranus and Pluto were together, and now they're trine. So it's like the mid 60s.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing also is is the reminder that sometimes this revolutionary, these great changes often look like big breakdowns at first.
Yes.
But they're breakdowns in order to have the breakthrough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's so well said.
Yeah.
Uranus, I always think about as the planet of breakdown or breakthrough, and then, but usually it's both.
Yes.
Like
Well, I call her the bitch slap planet.
it's so good.
Really, because I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, what? Where did that come from? It's that kind of, my experience, it's that change where you're like, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
And yet, okay, good. Here we go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, Gemini is ruled by Mercury,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So think about Uranus sitting with Mercury. And so the whole mind, the whole forms of transportation, communication, technology, everything just speeds up to an incredible degree. And we have to be able to pivot quickly. This is a time when we really have to be able to pivot quickly.
Okay.
But I love that Uranus and Pluto are going to be trine one another. They trine one another 5 times. They're trining all the way through 28.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like actually it starts in this July is
Okay.
the first trine, then November, and then June of 27, January of 28, and May of 28. So
Beautiful.
this trine, this revolutionary and this regenerator are working together during that whole time. So I am relieved that they are trine. And I do feel hopeful about the momentum. And I think now that Pluto is in Aquarius, it's all about the collective. It's all about the
Yeah.
people. It's not about the Leo king.
Yeah, it's we the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are going to see that in all ways get stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I mean, you've been seeing it all over the world too. So we've definitely had the foreshadowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in fact, speaking of that, there is, we've been talking about Jupiter being in Cancer,
Yeah.
and Jupiter moved into Cancer in 2025, and it's moving into Leo
Yeah.
on June 29th. So this is another major shift. We've talked about 2 major shifts so far. This is another major shift. But what's so interesting about the summer shift of Jupiter into Leo is that it almost immediately opposes Pluto in Aquarius. So you have basically Jupiter in Leo is like the king, and you hope it's the benevolent leader
Right.
and not the egocentric king, right?
Right.
So their Jupiter in Leo can be beautiful, huge expression, huge heart, huge authentic leadership. Like it can be beautiful.
Courage.
Courage, yes. But it can also be narcissistic, and
Right.
right. So, but isn't it interesting that it's July 20th, it opposes Pluto. So this is so much the collective,
Right, like we the people.
Yep. Versus my solo,
Right.
absorbed self.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about that in terms of our politics across the world. I'm
Yeah.
curious about what that will look like. But on a simpler level, you and I have been talking about Jupiter and Cancer, and it's like, oh, I mean, everybody's like, it's big family, your chosen family.
Yeah.
It's an emphasis on the internal life. It's flow and feeling. It's not like, when are you climbing that mountain?
Right.
Like if
Right.
anything, I feel like this whole year I've been hearing people talk about the darkness and the heroine's journey and not the heroic son, climb the mountain
Yes.
and
What are you
achieve.
building, and what's your strategy, and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of those things, and well, we obviously you and I are aligned in this, certainly because we both serve in this way.
Yes.
It's been so beautiful to see people finally opening to the softening, having the rise of the divine feminine in a way that is more in the collective, and having that conversation that is becoming more and more normalized
Yes.
for us all. So that's been, I think, so beautiful, and of this whole Jupiter and Cancer time.
I was noticing, because you and I have been in this work forever,
Yeah.
and I was thinking about every time that Jupiter's been in Cancer over the last 36 years. And I was like, every single time Jupiter's been in Cancer, either a very significant female teacher has entered my life. Actually, that's pretty much true. That's what's happened for the last 3 times. And also it had to do with some of my own teaching with women. But I agree that this year feels very significant in terms of it widening its sphere of influence.
Yeah.
This summer I was a part of a retreat, and there was a woman, Deborah Tull, who was teaching, and she's a wonderful meditation teacher, but she wrote a book called Luminous Darkness, and she just talked about it. And I remember, I mean, obviously, again, we've been steeping in this forever, but I was like, this is wonderful. Like, it even soaked into me in this whole new way that was like, yes. So in any case, we still have this until the summer of 26 with Jupiter in Cancer.
And so in Cancer, this is what I've been sharing with everyone, it's a big deal because Jupiter's, I say, happiest. It's exalted in the way that Astro speak, but it's happiest. It's in its best, most delicious home place with all the support that it wants and needs.
Yes.
And this only happens once every 12 years.
Yes.
So that's why it's been such a big deal.
And I hold out hope for our country in the sense that we're a Cancerian country.
Right.
We were born under Cancer.
Yeah.
Hopefully we grow in consciousness, though albeit through pain, but hopefully we're growing in consciousness, and hopefully we're like looking at one another, like we're meant to look at one another as family. Obviously that's not going to happen in 7 months, but there are wake-up calls that are going on.
Yeah.
So, but when it moves into Leo, I mean, every artist, and we're all artists, right? Yeah. But I mean, our creativity gets lifted, our hearts become courageous.
Yeah.
We dare ourselves into our next chapter.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I just think what I'm hearing in my head right now, I'm just hearing the love of a Leo.
Yes.
Like the love, like really and every sign has its light and shadow. Yeah. Right. And in my opinion, when we wake up to and we become more conscious, right, we then have a choice. Yeah. Where are we choosing from? Where are we animating ourselves from in our lives? But like the love of a Leo is like no other. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I sign every moon note big love.
Yes.
And that's Leo. That's Jupiter and Leo, right? I mean, big love is such it's not my phrase, but it's like how I sign. Yeah. But I mean, it's the love of a Leo. Yeah. Yeah. And that is an extraordinary love. And also Jupiter and Leo, imagine a sun at the center of your chest, just beaming 360. That's Jupiter and Leo.
Yes.
So that's something to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And if you're an Aries or a Leo or a Sagittarius, it's extra juicy for the second half of the year.
Right.
And for the first half of the year, if you're a Cancer or a Pisces or a Scorpio, yum, we're being lifted.
Exactly.
Right? There are opportunities that are coming our way.
Yeah.
So, so that's another major shift. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Keep bringing it. Keep bringing it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the eclipses because eclipses are significant.
Yes.
And we did mention this first eclipse. And by the way, I'll mention the degrees of each eclipse that's occurring, and there'll be 4 eclipses. Mm-hmm. They come in pairs, right? And the first eclipse is the one that's at 28 degrees Aquarius. Mm-hmm. So if you have anything at 28 degrees Aquarius or 28 degrees Leo, right, or even 27 or even 29, like right in there, this eclipse is significant. And in fact, if you have anything that's like in the fixed signs, right? Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio at that degrees, it's significant. Mm-hmm. But the second eclipse is a lunar eclipse, and it's March 3rd, and it's 12 degrees Virgo. And so that occurs at a full moon.
Right.
And, we've talked before about these eclipse seasons, and people come and go. There are oftentimes people really choose to exit during eclipse seasons, and particularly if they have their sun, moon rising, at these positions. So this is an interesting year because 2 of the eclipses are Leo Aquarius, and 2 of the eclipses are Pisces Virgo.
Right.
Right. So we're in that transition time.
Right.
Yeah. So then the second set of eclipses is in August. And we have a 20-degree Leo solar eclipse on August 12th. Mm-hmm. And then the second one is August 28th, and it's a 4-degree Pisces. So sometimes we have a year where all the eclipses are occurring in 2 signs, but in this case, we're in a transitional year.
Because then in 27,
It'll
Well,
just,
anyway, they'll stay in the
yeah.
because right when we have eclipses, it really they set up an energy for about 19
Yeah,
about 19 years.
Yeah, yes.
And it takes about a year and a half for the nodes to shift.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
which is what the eclipses are based.
Yes,
from.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, with these, if you have to be a little versed in astrology to
Right.
apply this, like you have to know.
And I want to remind people also, your site is linked up in the show notes and everything, but you can get your chart.
Yeah, one thing that I love that we offer is there's a team of astrologers. We make you a recording about your sun, moon, and rising, or about the transits, and it's about a 15 to 20-minute recording, and so it's very personal. And these astrologers are wonderful, and it gives you a direct link into. We call it a snapshot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you can find out if somebody's listening and you don't know your chart,
Right.
you can get this quite easily and learn about like where things are degree wise and all the
Yes.
rest of that. So you'll have a better idea of where these are landing.
Yes.
I mean, for me, I'm giggling because we had oh my goodness, the eclipse is Aries Libra in 24 and we had another bout of it early 25 this year. Yeah.
Yes.
And that was very significant for me, especially the spring, the full moon eclipse in Aries in 24. That radically changed my life, actually.
Wow.
And I'm so curious with now the nodes moving to the Leo Aquarius I have an Aquarius moon and my North Node is in Aquarius. Venus is in Aquarius, right? So there's a lot of Aquarian energy over here as well. So I'm like, okay, let's see what's going to get like born and shifted up. And
And that, that moon placement, because the moon is so tender, it's so personal, right? So you feel it deeply if an eclipse is close to the moon.
Yeah. Well, and being Cancer rising, like everything for me.
Oh my God.
Like,
moon.
I'm
Yeah.
like literally
Well, this is,
shifting of the
again, I'm
tides.
thinking about you, and this year for you is so significant with Jupiter. Like basically the first half of the year, you are in this huge expansion, right?
Yeah, it's been very transformative.
Yeah.
I've talked about this in other things, and I will talk about this in other. There's a new series that I'll be starting on Instagram. So I'll be doing weekly lives, and everybody can tune in on that because I'll talk about more about the experience that I've had in service to being able to connect with your own divine messages. Because that eclipse, going back to the one full moon in Aries back in March of 2024, that's when I was at the cave of Mary Magdalene.
Oh, right.
And everything changed in my life, which we won't go into right now because it's a lot. It's now become the opening of the new book, but I've had certain experiences on eclipses over the years that without a shadow of a doubt have marked a significant change in my life. And this most recent, that was one of them most recently. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's really fascinating what can happen.
I'm getting little chills. I have a feeling this is a very good thing.
Yeah.
I love Jupiter. We all love Jupiter, but because there's something about it that is a growth that is a spherical growth. It's not the climb. It's not the the masculine climb.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is the next natural.
Yeah.
It's almost overflowing.
An overflow.
Yeah.
It's yummy. It's
So-
just, Okay, so those are the eclipses.
So, and then let's mention also, and this, let's just touch on this, but Chiron is also going to be moving into Taurus. So it's been in Aries for a nice chunk of years, and it will be moving into Taurus. And it moves into Taurus June 19th. It will retrograde into Aries in September, and then it'll move solidly into Taurus early next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
27.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
27. So, Chiron is that place of either our personal or collective wound that actually reveals our greatest gift.
Yeah.
Right. And so we've been working with this in Aries, And actually you could say like part of our collective wound in humanity does have to do with our aggression, or does have to do with the fight, the personal fight, there's the impatience with one another,
the self-centeredness. I mean, we're both Aries, so
yeah,
we can say
these.
We're allowed to say that.
We can talk about Aries. I mean, but it's what it's learned. What Chiron and Aries wants to offer is how to come forth with our bold ideas. With our intelligence, with the having paused before we assert, right? A wise coming forth.
Yes.
So that's what we've been working on for a whole bunch of years. Now it enters Taurus, and Taurus is a sign of our personal security. It's the sign of values. It's the sign of money. It's the sign of our self-worth. It's so it's also a sign of like what we own, So we're going to touch into all I'm sure, again, this journey that we've been on around Uranus in Taurus, around what do we value and how do we use our money? And like it sort of continues with Chiron and Taurus.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's significant that it's changing. And for all of you that have strong Taurus placements, now the sign of the planet of the planetoid of the wounded healer enters your sign. So it's more raw. It's more raw.
It
and
is.
It's tenderizing. And ultimately, it's the best thing in the world. Ultimately, it frees you. I mean, really.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, we're both Aries, but my Chiron is also an Aries.
Yes.
So I had my Chiron return over these last number of years, and it was not easy. Not going to lie. I mean, we've talked about this actually on one of these yearlies. And so I'm not sorry to see it moving on. And I'm just thinking how delicious in terms of anyone who does have strong Taurus placements, right? What do Taurians love anyway? Self-care, massages, go to the spa, these types of things. And I'm just hearing it's really important to remind anybody who does have strong Taurus placements while Chiron is closer or on top of you, really take extra care of yourself. I think that's hugely important. Hugely important.
I do too. And you and I were talking about how like it feels like the divine feminine collectively is more acknowledged somehow at this time. And I also think the themes which go hand in hand, the themes of rest.
Yes.
Like are somehow entering in a different way now.
Yes.
And how it's ludicrous to think that you can push forward endlessly.
Yeah.
So I think Chiron and Taurus will continue to teach us about that.
Yeah. Good point.
That book that I love so much, Tricia Hersey's Rest is Resistance.
Yes.
Right? It's like like it's actually a political thing to rest. It's
for sure.
Yeah.
There was a book recently in a book group that I'm in called Wintering.
Yes.
Do you know this book, Wintering?
Yes.
It's really lovely, and it's not of course for the season of winter. However, it's a really about resting and that slowing down, which we all need to do. And if we just think about living with this flow of the planets and the cosmic flow, but also living with the natural flow of the seasons.
Yes.
Right. So winter is more of a quieting time, even though there's the holidays, right? It's more of an inward moment.
Yes. And look, this is a big year for Aries, right? And we could even say for Aries, Leo, Sag, because Saturn and Neptune both enter Aries, but Saturn also is a planet in some way of pause.
Slow your roll, babe.
Slow it down. Make conscious decisions. Don't be manic and wildly accomplishing. You're still going to accomplish a lot. It's like my dad always said, make haste slowly, right? And that's Saturn, make haste slowly. So that involves rest too.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I'm very curious about.
It'll be really interesting that also within, again, just the year of the fire horse.
Yeah. It's almost like the fire horse. Yeah, it won't be moving in the exact same way somehow.
It's interesting. Yeah, the way the collective will be.
Yeah.
So
let's just also then cover maybe just our favorite Mercury retrograde.
Please.
Because this is interesting. All the retrogrades occur in water signs.
Oh.
This year.
Okay.
So the first retrograde is, again, listen to this, February 25th. Okay. So we have the first eclipse, February 17th, the gigantic eclipse. It's going to change Deborah's life. And then we have Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees Aries, February 20th. And then we have Mercury move retrograde in Pisces until March 20th, February 25th to March 20th. So that's the first retrograde. The second retrograde is June 29th through July 23rd. That's in Cancer. And then the third retrograde is October 24th through November 13th in Scorpio. So these retrogrades feel much more retrogrades are already internal. Water is already intuitive and feeling and, reflective. So they just feel emotionally healing. They feel like your body knows, they feel like necessary rest times, even more so.
I feel like anybody who's been wanting to get more in touch with their intuitive side and to be able to, access that, like these are going to be potent windows to focus on that.
Yeah, and didn't you just say like you're going to be talking about that in your Instagram? I mean, like
yes, yes, exactly, about being able to connect with your own. I call them divine downloads.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, like in an interesting way, I would imagine you using those retrograde times as amplifications of exactly this.
Yeah.
Like I would be very curious to see what happens for you during those weekly sessions during the retrograde times.
Well, we'll
you
see.
have to report back.
Yes, well, everybody will see. You can tune in on Instagram, if you aren't following me yet. But yeah, because I'm starting those first week of January.
See, this is like, you're getting a taste of the purposeful beginnings.
Yeah.
This is your Neptune entering Aries.
Well, and one thing we didn't talk about, which the beginning of January, to me is some like chef's kiss astrology going on, right? With a couple of the Kazimis.
Yeah, there's so many Kazimis. I didn't write down all the Kazimis, but they're like...
we've got Mars.
And a Venus Kazimi.
And Venus. And we've got, so we have Mars Kazimi, we have Venus Kazimi, and then we have Mars and Venus Kazimi.
Yes.
And that's all in Capricorn.
Yes.
So this is happening the beginning of the first week of January.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about that. It's all in my 6th house.
No,
by the
I
way.
am too. We're going to
Mars
get
return.
some stuff done.
So in any case, I was like, I will start this new weekly Instagram live then.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
See, this is exactly what you were saying. Like you looked ahead, you looked at the weather, you made a decision.
Exactly.
It's not it's not fortune telling. It's
and it's not push, shove.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the natural rhythm of what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I have a Capricorn moon, so I was very excited about that little stellium lineup too. I'm like, okay, because I've definitely been a little blurry of late, and I'm just allowing it. But that's another thing when you can look forward and you can say, oh gosh, in 10 days or whatever, in 6 months, this relief is coming, or this opportunity to change the channel, to change the energy. It allows you to soften into the present moment more.
Exactly. And then I always think it's about having a future worth living into, having a future that you're excited about. And so when you do utilize this type of information, sure, there are moments that might be more challenging, but yet that you can live into that future with more of your own personal power, right? Yes. Rather than just kind of being batted around like like a ping pong or a pinball.
Always with astrology, it is our own free will, our own empowered selves meeting a beautiful design and dancing together. Yeah. And, it's never something being done to you.
Right.
And that's empowering.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we have personal power and free will.
Yeah. So, I woke up this morning, the moon moved into Aries this morning.
Yes, it
did. And I had been really feeling the Pisces. I just had been like, is my life going to dissolve and fall apart? But I woke up and I was like, I feel like it's New Year's Day. I don't know. Something about it was like, okay, I'm realigned and the cycle starting again. Yeah.
Okay. So these are, have we missed, is there anything that we've
obviously
skipped?
These are the big ones.
Yeah.
These are the big ones. Obviously we could go month by month, but these are very
significant.
Okay.
So we've got many of the major outer planets that are now solidly moving into the new signs. We've got our nodes shifting for the eclipses.
Yeah.
Jupiter shifting up in the summer as well.
And it's interesting to think that the signs that they've moved into are fire and air. You know, particularly when Jupiter moves into Leo.
Yes.
It's fire and air. We've been in earth and water. This is fire and air. This is passion, you know, vitality, speed, communication, enlivenment.
But this is what I'm talking about in terms of the fire horse too, because this is the, like, I know different, you know, platform in terms of astrology, but there's an overarching energetic that I've found. For viewers or listeners who are new and you don't know me, I've been a professional feng shui consultant for nearly 30 years at this point. And so this is where I learned about all of this information. But when the animal and the element are shifting, like that's the overarching energy that's on the stage. Okay. So it's kind of like when we're talking about like Jupiter's in Cancer for an entire year. So that's like an overarching energy. And that's the way I look at it when we look at the Lunar New Year and that type of astrology. So that quickness, you know, which can bring a little bit of volatility.
Yes.
Which is why I'm so glad that we have Saturn holding us in Aries, you know, even there, that will be that start, the initiatory, but with some structure.
Yes.
Right. With the like, hey babe, I've got you. Because otherwise I feel like we could fly off we could really go off the rails.
No, I think that's so well said. The danger of the instability and the impatience of fire and air, but Saturn just stands.
Yes.
And then it's also interesting, this 0 degrees Aries point that I spoke of as the Fool. You know, the Fool is very wise.
Very.
You know, so there's hope. It's hope. We're embarking on a new quest. We're not innocent. We've seen a lot.
There's a maturity.
But there's a maturity.
Yes.
So I do feel tremendous hope and positivity. I mean, granted, there's a lot of darkness, but it's all about our inner landscape and how we're walking forth.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. I so appreciate you and your deep knowledge in this area and, you know, bringing it to us and bringing it to the real Undressed for all these years. And I know you have a fabulous year-long experience that you host. And I think because that's coming up to begin at the beginning of this year.
Yeah. Speaking of that beautiful beginning of January.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Homecoming, which is a very Jupiter in Cancer phrase. And this will be my 3rd year of taking a small group of women so far on this journey. And it's a combination of astrology and poetry and writing. And we meet individually once a month. So every woman I meet with one-on-one to do a astrology session. And then we meet as a group 3 times a month. And then there's all kinds of little gifts you get each month. And I mean, it's a whole, it's, you know, you're signing up for a beautiful, beautiful journey together. And then at the end, you really feel like there's a deeper understanding, a readiness to cross a threshold. And I have a couple more spots open. If it's suddenly you're called, just reach out to me at Heidi@HeidiRose.com.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I can just only imagine like the women that get to spend this year with you and what happens and who you become over the course of this transformation. So I highly recommend, to anything you can do with Heidi.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And if for some reason you're listening to this, you know, after January, just link up with her, get on her wait list or her email list and all the rest of that. Because by the way, the other thing that I love are your moon notes.
Oh, thank you.
A daily moon note, which are delivered, that's through Substack. Yes?
Substack and Instagram. So Instagram.
Because I get them right to my inbox.
Yes, that's what I like too.
It's literally the email I look forward to every day.
Oh, amazing.
It's so true. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And how many years?
8.
Holy shit.
8. And I haven't missed a day.
I just want to acknowledge you for your dedication.
Thank you.
Like a daily practice and to gift that to us all for 8 years is incredible.
Thank you. Well, it's my little spiritual practice too. And I really deeply feel the community. It's such an incredible community. Just very loving group. So yeah, and I recently made the Substack available so that it could just come directly to your inbox and you don't have to get on social media and you can just go ahead and have it.
Yeah, which I deeply appreciate
yeah.
because, I'm on the socials, but not.
Yes.
I don't want to be in there all the time.
Yes, exactly.
So everybody just go to Heidi's site. It's all linked up in the show notes. And I love you. I love doing this with you.
Thank you,
I'm so
Deborah.
excited for the year ahead. I think for everybody, I mean, obviously there are gifts for everybody. And I just feel like after this true shedding that's been occurring over 25, that there is this, we now have more support in the rebirth that it is absolutely occurring for us as individuals and of course as a collective, the as above, so below, right? So Heidi Rose.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are tremendous. And everybody listening, thank you for being here. The Real Undressed has always been a place to have dynamic and delicious conversations about spirituality and sex and our intimacies in our body and our consciousness. So we're going to continue to be bringing those to you. And as always, just have an incredible, incredible 26. And it's simply bye for now.